Okay, this week we are going to go back to chapter 9 for a little bit, and we're going to talk about quadratic equations. So today what we're going to focus on is solving quadratic equations by factoring. So first, well, before I begin, let me explain some things. My brain's working slow today. Look, it's the Friday before spring break when I'm recording this, and this is everything I had to get done today. And so I thought I was being so smart, and the things that are circled are the videos that I had to make. I would not suggest, like, if I had to go back in time to this morning, do the videos first when your brain is there. Now my brain's gone and I'm forgetting things. But anyway, we'll get it done. Solving by factoring. So let's look at this. We have a quadratic equation set equal to 0, and we want to solve what x is. Back in the day when we were dealing with linear equations, you know, you just moved the 5 over and it was nice and beautiful. Easy peasy, x equals 5. But when we're dealing with quadratic equations and we have that square, things get a little bit different because I have two possible answers. X isn't just equal to 5, x could be equal to two things. So let's look at this and see what it is. So first off, I'm going to factor this and say, okay, factor it into two binomials. Okay, so I have my two parentheses and I have x here and x here because that's what multiplies to give me x squared. Then I ask myself, what two factors of 6 add or subtract to give me 5? So let's think about that. Two factors of 6 that add or subtract to give me 5. I've got 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. And what's kind of tricky about this is they both can. 1 and 6 subtract to give me 5. 2 and 3 can add to give me 5. So which one's it going to be? Let's look. I need a situation where they multiply to give me a positive. And the only things that multiply to give me positives are like signs. A negative and a negative, a positive and a positive. So it has to be 2 and 3. Because 1 and 6, you would have to have opposite signs. So I put 2 and 3 in that little spot. Now, is it going to be a negatives or a positives? So I look and I get a negative 5. So negative 2 and negative 3 multiply to give me a positive 6 and add to give me negative 5. Wait a second. My nose itches and we're not supposed to touch our faces anymore. I don't know the solution because if I use my elbow, I cough in my elbow. We're going to have to let this storm pass. This is terrible. Okay, it's gone now. Sorry for that. Let's look at this. So now that I've factored it, back in the day, I would be done there. But now that I'm actually trying to solve, I'm going to split this up and say x minus 2 equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0. I'm going to come up with two different answers. Let's see what they are. So in this first one, I just solve, move 2 to the other side with addition, and x equals 2. For this second one, I move 3 to the other side with addition, and x equals 3. So I have two possibilities here, x equals 2 or x equals 3. Two answers because it's a quadratic equation. Let's look at another problem. Right here, t squared minus 26t equals 56. Now look at this problem versus this problem. What's the difference? This one, everybody's all on the same side and it's equal to 0. This one, it isn't. We want to make this look like this. We want everybody to be equal to 0. So how do I accomplish that? Well, if I just move the 56 over by subtraction, it will be gone and everybody will be equal to 0 because there won't be anything left on that side. Now I factor it into two binomials and I put my t and my t where they need to be because t times t equals t squared. And I ask what two factors of 56 equals 26? Add or subtract to give me 26. Automatically I think 7 and 8. But they add to 15, subtract to 1, so that's not it. 1 and 56, that's not it. 4 and 14, subtracts to give me 10, adds to give me 18, that's not it. How about 2 and 28? subtracts to give me 30, no, adds to give me 30, subtracts to give me 26. That's my winner. So 2 and 28. Okay, this tells me they multiply to give me a negative. That means their signs are not the same. But the bigger number needs to be a negative. So negative 28, positive 2. Still not done. Got to set each one of these equal to 0. And now I solve. So for one, t is equal to negative 2, and for the other, t is equal to 28. Ba-ba-da-ba. And that's how you solve quadratic equations by factoring. Have a great day.